Hey y'all, it's Kelsey here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how I created this super easy soft glam makeup look. So first, I'm starting off by priming my eyelids with this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And yeah, it's really nice, full coverage. I'm using the mini Real Technique sponge to blend this out. And to set the concealer, I'm using my Makeup Revolution banana powder, which is really nice and matte. For the eye look, I'm going to use the Jacklyn Hill and Morphe eyeshadow palette, and I'm going in with this neutral brown shade and buffing that into my crease and outer lid area. Next, I'm going in with this neutral burgundy shade and buffing that right on top of that brown shade. Here I'm creating the cut crease look, and I'm using the Morphe flat eyeshadow brush to do this. Honestly, you want to make sure that you are carving out your lid and following the natural shape of your crease bone. I know that sounds complicated, but if you want a more detailed video on how I do my cut creases, make sure you leave a comment down below. And as you can see, I'm winging out this concealer and blending it only towards the middle of my eyelid, just stopping there because that's where I'm going to put the deeper shade. Here I'm going with this neutral brown shade. It looked light on camera, but it's a little deeper than that. So I'm just applying that on the middle, a little bit towards the end of my lid area. Here I'm going in with this nice creamy nude shade from the Morphe and James Charles palette, and I'm just packing that on my inner lid area. And I went in with this shade a few times just because I wanted it to be really pigmented. And I also went back in with that neutral brown shade and blended those two colors together. Here I'm going back in with that burgundy shade from earlier and blending that on my outer lid area just so it can be a gradient effect from the nude, brown, and then burgundy. And I forgot to mention that I applied this tape on the edge of my eyes, so you know when you take it off, it looks nice and clean and precise. Here I'm just lining my eyes with the NYX matte liquid eyeliner, which is my favorite eyeliner ever. You need this. For mascara, I'm using the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. I think I said in my previous video, this mascara is so bomb. You need it if you are a drugstore girl, okay? This is a must-have. Here I'm applying these lashes from AliExpress. It's been a minute since I bought from them, but these lashes were bomb, okay? For the eyebrows, I'm using, okay, what was I doing? But I'm going to go ahead and with my Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown. I use this eyeshadow pencil in almost all my videos just because I haven't found anything that works better than this. Even the Anastasia one, even though that's pretty good, but that one's I think like $18 and this one is like $5-6, so you can't beat the price difference, okay? For primer, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer. I just love how this is so silky and soft on the skin. Then right on top, I sprayed my e.l.f. Illuminating Primer Spray. For foundation, I'm using both the Hydrating and Matte foundations from Fenty. And applying this with the same eyeshadow brush that I use for my cut crease. I would usually use my flat foundation brush, which is of course bigger, but I couldn't find it, and using the brush is just easier for me. I don't like using my fingers all the time, and it also just controls where I want the foundation to be. Sometimes when you use a sponge at first, it kind of soaks up the makeup instead of blending it out. So I'm doing this step first, and then I'm going to blend this out with my Real Technique sponge. Next, I'm going to apply my Fenty Beauty concealer in the shade 330. To brighten my under eyes just a little bit more, I'm going to apply the Too Faced concealer. It's just maybe like 2 shades brighter than the Fenty one. The Fenty one kind of oxidizes with my foundation, so I like using this one to brighten it up a little bit. Next, I'm taking my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Mocha. This is my summer shade, so it's definitely too dark for me to use right now. And I'm just mixing this in with my Anastasia foundation stick, cream contour, and blending that with my Real Technique sponge. Here I'm applying that cream contour shade with the same flat eyeshadow brush and just blending that down my nose and then buffing it in with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. To set my concealer, I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder just to make sure that my concealer stays put, doesn't crease, and just stays matte all day. To define my brows just a little bit more, I'm going to use my Anastasia Dipbrow in the shade Dark Brown. And I'm mainly using this, just feathering it throughout my brow to get that natural effect. And to set them, I'm going to use this, I think the NYC Brow Gel, just to lock the hairs in place. To set my entire face, I'm using my Sephora Micro Smooth Setting Powder in the shade Tan 35. Just setting where I applied the foundation and the cream contour. To warm up my skin just a little bit, I'm going to use my Fenty Stalker bronzer in the shade Caramel Cutie. And to apply this, I'm using my Morphe contour brush. And you definitely want to set your cream contour with a powder because that's just going to reassure that the cream contour is not going to melt off. Same way as you would set your concealer, you want to set your cream contour as well with the powder. Here I'm going in with my Fenty Beauty Loose Setting Powder in the shade Honey. And I'm just using this to pat underneath my under eye area just because it has a really nice yellow neutral undertone to it. And I found that my Makeup Revolution setting powder is a little bit too drying. So this one I feel like feels better on my skin. For blush, I'm using my Anastasia Blush Trio in the shade Cocktail Party. I like mixing all 3 shades together. It is really nice. To highlight my skin, I'm using the Bobbi Brown highlighter in the shade Opal Glow, which is a really nice rose gold pink shade. I felt like it went perfect with this eyeshadow look. And yeah, I feel like pink highlighters are really underestimated. Also, I think that rose gold looks good on all skin tones, so I definitely think if you are a woman of color, you should, branch out into different shades and undertones of highlighters. Next, I'm going in with another flat eyeshadow brush from Morphe and buffing that deep burgundy shade onto my bottom lash line. Also applying bottom lash mascara, which is a must. To line my lips, I'm using the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF3. And then for the lipstick, I'm going to use my Morphe Ultra Matte Lipstick. I forgot what shade it is, but it's a really nice muted nude shade. Right on top, I'm going to apply this matte lipstick just to brighten the shade up a little bit more. It's a really nice pearlized, creamy lipstick. I love it. And then right on top, I'm going to gloss it up and apply this NYX Gloss Butter, I believe, in the shade Fortune Cookie. To set my makeup, I'm using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And I'm just adding a little bit more highlight to my cheekbones while my skin is still damp. And then I'm just untwisting my hair so we can be popping. Finally, this is the completed makeup look. I really love how effortless and flawless it turned out. If you love this makeup look too, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.